What is up, guys? It's Chris here, and as a follow-up to the previous class on using the shape tool, I'm going to walk you through an exercise. So we'll see how we're going to use the shape tool, to create an icon of some kind. We're going to use to create this, as you can see on your screen, this spanner. Right. So the first thing we need to do is to, first of all, look at what the spanner, the basic shape the spanner is made up of. Now, on this side, you can see that we have a circle here, right? And then we can see, breaking it down, we have a rectangle here in the middle, and then another circle here in the middle. And then we can see that there is a kind of a curved rectangle and a curved rectangle here. Now, if you're following the classes, the last two videos I've made, showing you how to use an object to cut another object, and then also welding two objects together. So we're going to be putting what we've learned in the last two classes to practice now. Alright, so like I said before, we see the spanner is made up of a circle, a rectangle, and a circle. You can see the circle here and the circle here are the same size. So let's get our circle. So click on the ellipse tool, F7, the shortcut, and then we'll draw a circle. Now, to draw a perfect circle, on your keyboard you press Ctrl and Shift, and then you click and drag, and that's how we have a perfect circle. So if I release, we have a perfect circle here. Now, if I'm going to draw another circle here, I won't be able to get the exact same size that I've drawn. Maybe I can estimate a little. So what we can do, to get the same circle over to the other side is to, I'm going to delete this, is to duplicate this. So if I select this object and I press Ctrl D on my keyboard, I have duplicated it and I can move it about. You can see we have a duplicate here. Right, so if I duplicate the object and I move it over to the right, and I want these two to be on the same plane, on the same position, one over to the right, I can select everything by just clicking on and selecting the two just by clicking on the page and dragging down. And if I press B, what pressing B does is that it aligns both objects to the same bottom. So let's say if I bring out a guideline quickly, you can see that they are on, let me zoom in a little, you can see that both objects are on the same bottom. You can see here on the same bottom. So we have them nicely placed. Next, I draw a rectangle. So I click on the rectangle tool and then just draw a rectangle that goes into the other one. Great. So right here we have the basic shape of our spanner. Now the next thing we're going to do is to weld all three objects together. So how I'm going to do that, using the shaping property I told you of. And the only way that works, if you follow the last two videos, is that I select both objects, and we're selecting them. You can see over here on the property bar that the shaping option comes out. Now what we want to do is to select the first one, which is to weld, and if we click on that, to see that our spanner is now beginning to take shape. You can see it's beginning to take shape. So the next thing we want to do is to form, to cut this part out of our shape. And how we're going to do that, let me move this aside a little. How we're going to do that is to create a rectangle, because this is a rectangle-like shape. Create a rectangle here. Good. And then what we want to do next is to use the shape tool here. And then remember, in the last video, I showed you how to select a node and manipulate that node. And that's what we've done here. You can see we have it nicely rounded by just clicking the shape tool and moving this node. Just let me zoom in a little. You can see we formally we have it as a rectangle. Right, so formally we have it like this, and then by selecting the node, using the shape tool, dragging it over to the left, you can see that we have it nicely rounded. So what we want to do now is to move this in, similarly to our reference, similar to our reference object here. So we have that here. What we can do is to duplicate this rounded rectangle we've created, and then we can move it over onto the right side. That's good. So we want this to be on the same plane also, so I select this. We want these two rounded rectangles we have here to be on the same plane. So I select this and I press B on the keyboard to ensure that they are both on the same plane. Now, so what we want to do now is to use this rounded rectangle we've created to cut this object we have here. So how we do that is we select the rounded rectangle and we select the object, and then we can see over on the top here we have the shaping tool, and what we're going to do is to trim. So what we are basically doing is we are using this rounded object to trim the welded object we have there at the background. So I select this first, hold shift down, I select that, and then I click on trim. So you see now that if I take this rounded object away, I have that spanner head over there. So I'm going to do the same thing over on the right side. So I'm going to do the same thing over on the right side, and I'm going to select the object, the rounded rectangle first, and then the welded object. And you can see over here the property comes out, and what I do is to click on trim. It's nicely trimmed, and I can move this away. I can see we have our spanner here been made. This I can fill it any color. I'm just going to fill it with the colors I have here, or you can fill it with the colors you have here, any color, and we have our spanner. So here we have our pink spanner. I can make it blue, I can make it red, yellow, green, or sky blue, or ice blue, whatever blue that is. But that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.